Hi, everyone. How are you? Hi, Ken. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Gonna plug in my phone so it doesn't die. Hi, Dee Dee. Thanks for coming in. Ken. Well, hello, the makeup nurse. Oh, I love you, honey. Let me just see if my text went through to Blake. Okay, yeah, he got the link. So, welcome to Just Wing It with Blake and Jamie. So, what did everyone eat tonight while we're waiting on Blake? Some Filipino food. You always make me hungry. Mac and cheese and mozzarella sticks. You make me hungry too, Ken. So remember, tonight we will be reviewing Dallas Buyers Club. What did you guys do this last weekend? Did you watch the Super Bowl? I know you didn't, Ken, but. Oh, and here's Blake. Hey, Blake.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Not much. How about you?
Oh, nothing. Just another day.
You just chilled at home, Dee Dee? So, what did, so,
Excuse me, the weather here was pretty bad today, so I just stayed in, cleaned up. Are you there? Can you hear me?
so did you watch the Super Bowl?
Nope, I did not.
Oh
Did
my
you watch
gosh,
the Super Bowl?
no, I don't watch football. Are you kidding me? No. So
Uh,
I'm
I
I'm
I just didn't. I didn't want to. Uh, I didn't want to buy into it. And honestly, the way it turned out, I'm kind of glad. But at the same time, I don't like that I just don't like the Eagles. So, I mean, I guess I'm just a hater. Just call me a hater. I'll just be easy with it.
yeah, but your theory was debunked that they were going to
Yep.
rig it
And
for the Chiefs.
yeah, and I lost how much money did I lose on that? $1,000.
Holy cow! Why would you bet that?
I mean, at the time it wasn't a big deal. I I put that bet in like week 2 of the season, week 3 maybe.
Ah,
Uh, and I thought the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl. And had it hit, I would have made 17,000. So it would have it would have been worth it.
wow. Hi,
Yeah.
Paprika. Thanks for coming in. I don't want to say anything that that you don't want anyone to know, but we're still all praying for you. We love you,
Yes,
Paprika.
I'm glad that you're in today. I hope everything's going well at home. Sponsor us, Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. You know, I have now that I have access to the physician lounge, I have cherry Dr. Pepper in this cup.
That's
So
funny.
you just can't see the logo.
What'd
Hi,
you have for
friends.
dinner?
So my coworker, because I had a huge headache all day today, and she was
Hmm.
so sweet, and she goes, I know it's because Jamie didn't eat, so she went to because we have Starbucks in our hospital. They she bought me like a croissant, and then I had like a tiny salad from the physician lounge. What did you eat today?
Let's see. I literally for dinner I had a plate of meat, like we had just ate like taco meat, and I just ate the meat. I didn't make a taco shell or nothing.
Oh wow. Pick
I was lazy with it.
Paprika says, thank you. I just got a regular room today, not intensive care. Good. I'm so glad. Um, it's a step step closer to getting out of there, Paprika.
Yeah,
Mm,
hopefully soon.
yes.
Hopefully soon. Um, so looks like the only thing that I'm going to care about in the sports world now is basketball for a little while. I mean, spring baseball is coming up, so we'll look forward to that. Go Braves, right?
Yeah.
If you liked baseball, it'd be the Braves, right? Wouldn't it? Or would you be a Cubs fan? Would it be the Cubs? Yeah.
Yep, I'm a Cubs fan. I'm
Oh
Chicago.
gosh.
And since I found out where the Robe Cup came from on the porch, Joe Amy. Because yep, it was my cup probably again.
No one hates the Cubs because y'all are never a threat. You
Hey,
never
we
win.
won the World Series twice in 200 years.
Yeah, took you 200. It only took you 200 years to do it, you know. It's all right though.
Yeah. Uh,
No,
um,
man, baseball is ever since they've been recording stats. I mean, gosh, it's crazy to me that they've been recording stats for as long as they have. And you know, one day down the road, I'm gonna be an old man, and some little kid's gonna be like, "Man, they've been recording stats before 2000." Did they even have paper then?
yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be funny.
Ken says the Cubs are the most favorite losers.
Exactly. You
Probably.
can't hate the Cubs. You can't hate them because they never bother anyone. Nobody,
uh,
for some reason, nobody likes the White Sox though, and
yeah.
they suck even worse.
Except for my cousins. My cousins are a White Sox fan. I'm like, you guys are goofy.
Man, it must be hard being a White Sox fan considering how just terrible y'all did this year. Y'all went on a 25 game losing streak. That's like unheard of in baseball. Who does
Wow.
that?
Isn't that every game?
Yeah, you lose. No. There's
Oh,
182, or no, there's 162 games in a season, I believe. I think it's
nah.
162. It's a lot of games, and they'll play 2 of them in one day.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's still a lot though for losing streak. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Oh.
lot. They broke the record for the longest losing streak in baseball history for a season.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty bad. All right. On other news, we are going to review Dallas Buyers Club.
Well, it was a good movie. I mean, it's kind of it branches out, especially in that time whenever there was a lot of, I don't know if you remember the early teens, 2000 teens, but it was, I don't know. I feel like that was just the hardest time in America as far as trying to be united. There's so many, I mean, and then just up till recently, it was those early 2000 teens and 2020. I've never seen it so messed up, but anyway,
Yeah.
I just this movie, everybody knowing who Matthew McConaughey, he's loved universally. Everybody loves Matthew McConaughey, but for him to do a movie like this was really out of his style, and he really got into character for it too. He lost. I think he lost like
80 pounds or something, wasn't it?
I heard it. I want to say it was either 60 to 80 pounds for the role, and
Wow.
he just looked so sick, and like multiple times he was just losing consciousness. I heard from doing this movie just because of his weight loss. Sudden weight loss was affecting his health, and he did it all for the role. And you
Wow.
can see it in his face and his body, like he just looks like he's dying, and he quite literally was in real life. So as far as a character or like a method actor, the dude knocks it out of the park. Him and Shia LaBeouf, I don't know who does it better. They're both really good as far as being the character, like Shia LaBeouf in Fury, he literally pulled out his own tooth because he thought it would look right. I mean, it's just the way he is.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the most versatile, underrated actors. Yeah, I can get behind that. I don't. I think I'd like to see him in more action stuff, but that's not really his style. He's more
like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah,
Kate Hudson.
he's like a love story or a message or a comedy kind of guy. He doesn't do a lot of action and go hard stuff because he's an anti-gun. He doesn't like guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but nonetheless, I think he's a great actor. He means well. I don't dislike the guy for that. And I rate his performance a 10 for 10. He knocked it out of the park in this movie. What do you think? Totally believable. No.
Oh yeah, he did a great job.
There's a couple things you need to know about the real Ron Woodruff. So before we get into it, his character is morphed on its own. This is not what the real Ron Woodruff was like, okay? He was a married man. He was a closeted gay man. He frequented gay bars. That was probably how he ended up getting it, because he did in fact, the real Ron Woodruff didn't he was never heterosexual. I mean, if anything, he was bisexual. So that right there alone shows you that, I mean, they transformed his character in order to fit the time that the movie came out. You know what I mean? Because if they made it real and Matthew McConaughey was a gay man, he would have been slandered and shut down, and all of the people that were on the fence about gay rights and gay marriage, they would have hated this guy forever after that. So the way that they morphed this movie to where he was a straight man and caught it from doing drugs made
No, not
made
doing
sense.
drugs, from having sex with the prostitute. That I don't know if we're allowed to say the
I don't know.
that
Well,
word,
maybe,
but
but that thing exactly. I remember he had blood all over him. Remember? So I assume maybe they were sharing needles or something like that. It would have.
well, remember at the beginning he's doing the nasty with a
Right.
with a female that was a drug user. Because remember, like when he's like thinking back, when he's thinking that you can only get it from a gay man or a gay person, he's looking at the arms of the woman that he was having sex with, and then he's like that, and so I don't think.
Right, but remember. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, that's
Uh,
fine.
in the whenever he was in the library doing the research, and he had the book and the projector, and he starts doing the flashback, and he's thinking about the motel that he was at, and he's in there with this other guy and this girl, and they had needles and all over the table, and his arms were bleeding. It showed blood and everything, and then he just slams his hands down. Remember?
Oh, I thought. Okay, I only remember the flashback of when he was at the rodeo doing that with that
No,
female.
you need to go give it a rewatch, because that scene that happened. I mean, right there in the beginning, whenever he's looking it up on the computer, you
Yeah, I
know.
remember him at the computer, but I must have like got distracted because I watched it with Ken, when so I might have like gotten up to go do something.
hmm
I missed that part.
Yeah, well, that's that right there alone shows you they were trying to appease an entire audience and outreach to that.
Yeah.
And this movie was cheap. It was so cheap to make. They did. I mean, we'll get into that later, but as far as how far and how much they did, they didn't spend a lot of money at all on this production. The story, the message is really good. Um, I recommend that if you're against it, you should just give it a chance and be unbiased about it. You'll like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The message overall is that regardless of whether you're sick or not, the government shouldn't be regulating or telling you what you can and can't put into your own body.
Well, especially since you like they gave him 30 days to live, but yet they wouldn't let him have an experimental drug, and so then he goes and finds something else that's even better, and the other stuff that they're actually
Peptide
giving as a
tea.
trial. Yeah, the AZT was like actually harming the patients that were that were taking it for, and that was just trial, and
Mm-hmm.
wasn't FDA approved. And so then he finds something that is like, well, fine, I'll go get this, and then finds that something's even better, and was actually working, where he lived 7 years when they told him he
7
had 30
years.
days.
He did 2,557 days.
Oh my gosh, how do you remember that?
Because I watched the movie. Did you not
Well,
watch the movie?
no, I watched the movie and I remembered it was 2,000 some days, but I don't remember the exact number after
Yeah,
watching the end.
2,557 days. That's exactly 7 years after. It's 7 years in a day.
Wow. Ken says, I think this movie is a strong reminder that actions have consequences and one day can change your life, but a lifestyle will own you. Yes. Yes. And top score on this whole presentation. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, like, I feel bad for young kids. Sometimes they make a stupid mistake when they're young, and it can ruin your whole life forever. And it's like, you gotta really understand your consequences of your lifestyle.
I agree 100%. I don't think that the average person would have done or gone through what he did in order to. I mean, you had to be some kind of different, dedicated person to go through all this. And it's sure
Yeah,
enough, it, like when you're dying and I mean, I don't want the story to stop there. That's not all it is. I mean, Ken's right. Your consequences, they have, I mean, your actions have consequences, but
absolutely.
the moral of the story is how, I think the big picture of it is how the government wants their finger in it. And if they don't have it, then it's a problem,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. How many times did
The,
they
the,
confiscate all of his drugs, all
well,
the meds?
I don't know, but the one thing that, the scene that spoke to me the most is whenever he goes into that meeting of those people that are telling him, and he just goes on that rant to them. He says, he tells them, uh, Big Pharma teams up with or they pay pay the FDA to evaluate their research, and he said, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough cash in my pocket to entertain them. They won't even look at and entertain his research because he doesn't have the money for it. And that's the problem. I swear there's a cure for half of the things that we pay money for. I mean, and you work in the medical field, you're telling me they're not? Come on now. There's got to be something.
Well, you think that by now they would have a cure for cancer, but look at everything, all the money and all the donations and all the walks and everything that they just throw money at for donations for research for cancer, and they don't have a cure. They have like some treatments, yes, but how do they not have a cure yet? And it took how many years? 50 years or 60 years for them to get like a vaccine and stuff for HIV. I mean, it's just now like pretty much where they have good medications, vaccines, and that kind of stuff for HIV.
Yeah, it's been what? This was in 1985 or so, and he
Yeah,
died 7 years later. I mean, we're talking almost 40 years here.
yeah,
That's a long time, and for cancer treatment, gosh, even longer. You know, there wasn't an
yeah,
AIDS breakout in the 40s and the 50s and stuff like that. But
yeah. So,
gosh,
Ken says, look at how far he came from day one being diagnosed to being a partner of the stereotype that cast him aside. Yeah, like he did not want anything to do with that group, and then also he gets diagnosed, and now he's best friends with the the group that he didn't like. Hi, Japeful. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like, for the story and for the line, that's great. It's a man starting in the story terrible and coming out on the other side better. But
yeah,
in real life, in reality, Ron Woodruff engaged in homosexual activity. I mean, it's
yeah.
just
I didn't. I
I
didn't know
want
that,
that to
but
be, I want everybody to understand that because he's not, um, this is for entertainment. I want the real man to be honored for what he was and who he was. It's not, this is just for entertainment, but nonetheless, I agree. I agree.
yeah. Yes, Chief. Well, research costs a lot of money for them to do today, but they also get a lot of donations too from a lot of wealthy people to try. So, um, Ken says the government cannot afford to miss the tax dollars from healthy people. Ken is somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, so he
But they
thinks
make
that,
sense, don't they?
well, it does, but he's like overboard sometimes.
So am I. It's okay, Ken.
Especially like he hates my profession. He thinks that it's all about the money, and yes, they do have to care about money, but he thinks that people, like, he's like the extreme, like he thinks that people don't want to heal people because they need to keep them sick to make money. Trust me, I don't think that's the case at all. Now, do I think that some things are geared by money, especially insurance companies? Look at them. They dictate what doctors can do based
Hmm.
off of the insurance company, but like they'll say, oh, like for instance, Ken's hip, he needs the doctor says he needs an MRI, and the insurance says, nope, we're not paying it for it, you got to do a CT first. So here's an extra test that's costing us money, and the insurance money, and the hospital money, to go do the CT, but then they don't cover all of the CT. And then the doctor's like, okay, yes, he needs an MRI. And then the insurance won't pay for the MRI. So now we got to pay out of pocket for the MRI, because so we had to pay double. And they didn't even cover the MRI. It would have been better just to say, okay, just order the MRI and we'll pay out of pocket, because we ended up doing that anyway. But then we ended up having to pay more money for this because of the CAT scan. And they
That's
do this all
insurance
the
for you.
time.
That's how they do it. And I mean, you just, I'm sorry, you can't tell me that there's not an agenda somewhere, and to keep the rich rich and the poor poor.
Yeah. It,
Whether it's in the hospital or not, I don't know. To be determined.
well, I mean, there's politics and everything, and trust me, I deal with the politics in the hospitals, especially my role. But yeah, Chief said something there about tax dollars. Yeah, but it's so frustrating because there are politics in the hospital, in every hospital, and there
There shouldn't be.
and no, there shouldn't be, but unfortunately, it is. There is, and I mean, your sister works in healthcare, and I mean, I'm sure she sees it there too. You
Mhm.
know. Oh,
Cheyenne doesn't work there anymore. Actually, uh, she had decided to be a stay-at-home mama. Finally, doing what she wanted to do. So,
oh, good for her. Good for
and
her.
she does her travel stuff that
Always
she,
had. Oh, good for her.
yeah, booking people and whatnot. And she does other things, wedding planning and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. So she added on, huh?
Yep, she does it all.
That's
She does
awesome.
it
Well,
all.
good for her. But oh, speaking of though, I got a funny story for you. So
What?
last week, we had a routine survey, because our regulatory bodies have to routinely survey hospitals to make sure they're in compliance and all that. Well, this one was specific to one of our certifications that we because we are certified in hip and knees, and so we
Uh-huh.
have to get recertified every. I think they come every year, but recertification is anyway. They come every year. So anyway, they're here last week to um, um, look at our program, and we were talking about something, and they're like, oh, you know what, we got a really good policy on that from Midland, Texas. And I'm like, I was there, and I was there during the making of that policy that he um he was bragging about that Midland, Texas had that policy, and I was like, I actually worked there, and I was actually part of at the one of the committees when they made that policy.
Really?
And yeah, it was so
Oh,
funny.
wow.
Small
That's
world, huh?
funny. Small world. I'm happy. Well, you never rated this movie. What do you rate it
Oh,
as a medical professional?
um, as the medical piece of it, I'd have to give it because there were some things that I was like, no, that wasn't going to happen. So I guess 3.5 because of that
Hmm.
out of 4.
I think I can match that. It wasn't long, was it?
No, and
I
it was
didn't feel
good.
like.
It just was like some misconceptions and for the like at the very beginning, and maybe I misunderstood the time frame, but it looked like it was like almost immediately that he started having symptoms because it was like almost immediately after he had that incident
Well, no,
that
it
where he
was. It was instantly. You're right. You're not
it,
wrong because remember he runs away from the guys after he takes the money that he lost in the bull riding bet with his friend
Mhm.
TJ.
Yeah,
And when TJ falls off the bull, he runs away and then he punches the cop in the face and the cop gives him a ride home and then once he gets inside, he falls down on the ground.
yeah, and then they took him to the
Remember?
hospital and they did blood
No,
work
no,
and
no, no,
saw
no, 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 no. He wakes up. He uh goes to work, and he gets zapped by the electricity
yeah.
that he was working with, and then they take him to the hospital.
Well, it was really recent after the incident of supposedly he caught AIDS,
It
and to
was
the
in the
time
first 15 minutes.
yeah, and then he goes to the hospital, and they said and ran the blood like a million times and saw that his CD4 count was way too low. It would have taken months and months and months, probably like over 6 months for him to start exhibiting signs and signs in order for them to start drawing blood work. But they said, I don't know how you're still alive. Your CD4 count is so low. That's too soon of a timeline. They could have at least said like 6 months later or whatever, to make it more real of how HIV actually does. So
Hmm.
that piece, I'm like, no, it takes a while for you to start even exhibit signs of HIV.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Ken says tap score performance was excellent.
Oh, and the Rayanne, the one that plays her,
Yeah.
that is the band singer Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars.
So is that a real character?
Yeah, the real band, 30 Seconds to Mars. It's a band.
I mean, like, I mean, I know, but I mean, did that person really get AIDS and all that stuff?
I don't know. I'm sure that she was made up.
No.
He, she, whatever. I'm sure that was a interpretation of that he was willing to be around them.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it was no problem for him to be around them because he was a closeted gay man.
Yeah. Well, especially because this was in 1985.
Yeah, this is
That wasn't
where
accepted back then.
yeah, it was not at all. It was not part of the culture, especially in Texas. You were you had like, hey, this is your part of the city. Don't even leave here,
Yeah.
type of thing. And that's all over the nation is how it was.
Ken says, my favorite scene was the grocery store when he forces his ex-friend to shake hands. Yes, that was a great scene. What was your favorite scene?
Mine was when that girl came in for the medicine, and he's like, "Who's the girl in there?" And she's like, "She's a patient." And he's like, "She's got AIDS. She's got HIV. She's HIV positive." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, she's got full blown AIDS."
And he's like,
next thing you
okay.
know, they're in the bathroom doing the nasty. So
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
yeah, that was a funny scene. I like that scene too.
Um, let's see, what was that? What was the other one? When he comes in dressed as a priest,
Oh yeah,
trying to get across the border.
yeah,
It's funny.
yeah, that was good. So, anything on the IMDb?
You ready to get into it? Let's do it. Boom, boom, boom. I got it right here. All right. This is directed by Jean-Marc Vallée. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Um, sorry, I got stuck here. Okay. In 1985, Dallas electrician and hustler Ron Woodruff works around the system to help AIDS patients get the medication they need after he is diagnosed with the disease. That's just your quick breakdown for the movie. Jennifer Garner, what do you think her best movie is? What do you like her in?
Yes, what was the Yes Day or something? I did like that movie.
Gosh, no, that's not it. She was in that. Hold on here. Let's pull it. Oh, she was just in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Oh yeah, Yes
Oh,
Day. You're right, Yes Day. She was in that.
oh, Alias, yeah, but that wasn't a movie. That was a show. That was
Yeah.
when Nathan had the hots for her.
The Family Switch, that new TV show.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't
It
seen
came
that
out a
one.
couple years ago.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Garner, Jared Leto. He looks so different. I don't know if you can see his picture here. If I turn it around, that's what he looks like in real life.
oh wow.
Yeah, he looks so different compared to what he looked like in the movie. So give him an A+ for acting. You know, he knocked it out of the park there.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's the band leader in 30 Seconds to Mars, the lead singer. Not bad music. All right, let's see. The film budget was so low that the makeup budget was only $250. The makeup artists were able to work with that amount, and the film won the Oscar for best makeup and hairstyling.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. $250 for a movie?
Yeah,
Wow.
just for the makeup alone.
Wow. That's like cheap for a movie.
Matthew McConaughey lost 47 pounds for
Oh,
his role as the
47.
AIDS patient.
Wow.
Newspapers said he was terribly gaunt and wasting away to skin and bones.
He did look really skinny in that movie.
Hmm Over the course of its 20 years in circulation, the script turned down over 100 times. Wow.
Wow.
I can't believe that. Mm.
Well, maybe it was too
Yeah.
controversial and people didn't want to do it.
Film only took 25 days to shoot.
Yeah.
Jared Leto matched Matthew McConaughey. He lost 30 pounds for his role.
Wow. Yeah, G4 says, because people always used to think that you couldn't touch someone. Like HIV does not make people dangerous to know, so you can shake their hands and give them a hug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Princess Diana. Yep. And that's so true. And like, there's even misconception by some, like some people where they're like, oh, I got AIDS sitting on a toilet seat. No, you cannot get AIDS sitting on a toilet seat. So, but yeah. So
It's
anyway,
really it just doesn't work that way. People are simpletons.
yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. We're good. We're just hanging out. Still got plenty of time. Jared Leto stayed in character throughout filming. At one point, he went grocery shopping in character at the local Whole Foods, where he received numerous stares.
Wow. What
I'm
year
sure he
was
did.
what year was the film made?
2013. 2013.
Well, that's still before. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why. That's
Yeah.
why. I still stare at it whenever, like, whenever I see somebody that, like, I'm like, that you have to at least double take, if you saw him, you be like, hold on.
Yeah, some people
Um,
do a really good job. But
yeah,
anyway, let's move on.
no, he did. He really did. The film marked Jared Leto's return to acting after 5 years. Uh, the movie went through various stages before finally being financed with the help of Matthew McConaughey. The first director slash actor duo who tried to get the movie made were Brad Pitt and Mark Foster, as well as Ryan Gosling and Craig Giuseppe. Woody Harrelson was also involved with the project at one time. That's pretty cool. All
Wow.
these people paid to get the movie produced, and it was cheap. I mean, we'll break the news to you here in a minute with all the other stuff. During the mid 1990s, Dennis Hopper was attached as director with Woody Harrelson as Woodruff, but financial backing was impossible to secure. So they already did this once.
Oh, wow.
They've been trying to push this movie for a long time. Wow. Here you go. The Rayon and Eve characters did not exist in real life. Totally
Oh,
made
okay. Okay.
up. Jared Leto went on an all-liquid diet to drop the weight fast for the role of the film. He stated that he lost 10 pounds in 5 days. Wow.
Wow, that's dangerous. That's not good.
Mm. As he told many interviewers, he even began to feel like a different person in the way he talked and walked.
Wow.
I'm sure he did, man.
Yeah. Well,
To be
especially because he had to wear heels in some parts of it.
mm-hmm.
I don't even like wearing heels.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I'm short and I have to wear heels.
This was the 5th movie to win Best Actor in a Leading Role and Best Actor in a Supporting Role Oscars for Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto. They had Going My Way, The Best Years of Our Lives, Ben-Hur, and Mystic River were the other ones. I don't know. I know Mystic River. I don't know any of the other ones. Those came out a long time ago. However, this is the only year that all the nominees in these two acting categories were for performances in the Best Picture nominees. This was the only year in Oscar history that all 5 Best Supporting Actor nominees were from Best Picture nominees. I don't know much about how the Oscars do their stuff, but Ken, who would be taller?
Me,
Oh,
if I wore heels.
oh
When
yeah.
when I wear heels.
Hmm. Oh wow, that's crazy. James Dumont, who played Rayon's father in the film, is only 7 years older than Jared Leto. So that's funny. Jared Leto waxed his whole body for the film.
Ouch.
Hilary Swank was cast but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. Hmm. Despite the title, the movie was not filmed in Dallas. Wah wah. All right. That's pretty much all of them. If you want some more, go ahead and check them out. Let's check out some of the quotes in here.
And while he's doing that, think of what we want to do for next week. But since Friday is Valentine's Day, maybe we can find a love movie.
What is the greatest love movie? Have we done Titanic yet?
That is like a 3-hour movie.
So, tell me about it. Tell me about it whenever we podcast. You think I don't know that? Hey, you made me watch Gone with the Wind, that 4-hour
Hey,
movie.
I did not realize it was a 4-hour movie. Somebody told me it was supposed to be the best movie of all time, and I'm sorry, that was like not.
No, very far from it too. 4 hours of chit chat.
Yes, Jeeple says it's really
Go ahead.
important for people who are HIV positive to reach out to let other people know what they can that they can be tested. They can find out they can still live a life, a positive life, a happy life. Laura Bush. That's a great quote. From especially now. I mean, like I said, there's vaccines to prevent like it from transmitting for sex when you're having sex and stuff. So it's so much. It's I don't think it's as like scary, I guess is the word. I mean, obviously it will still be devastating, but I don't think it's as like, oh, get away from me, don't touch me, whatever. I think it's so much, better nowadays. Okay, what movie should we watch next week? And should we do a love movie because it's Valentine's Day and Saturday
Titanic
is
is a love movie. That's like the greatest
okay.
love movie of all
We'll,
time.
we'll leave it up to the chat. Okay, Blake says Titanic. What do you guys want? Let me see. What is the love movie? There's a movie called Valentine's Day. I can't remember. I think it's a comedy. And is that with Queen Latifah? I think there's a movie actually called Valentine's Day.
What's that movie with Queen Latifah that she goes out before she dies and does a bunch of stuff, bunch of fun stuff, spends all her money?
I think I've seen it, but I can't remember.
That's a cool movie. I like that one.
But I think there's an actual movie called Valentine's Day. I don't know who's in it though. I can't remember. I think it was Queen Latifah. What does the chat want?
I don't know. You guys can hit up the quotes later. Check them out. They're not a whole lot of notable ones this time, but
Ken says Titanic.
Hmm.
What are
It's
your thoughts, G-Full?
Titanic is an epic movie, brother. Thank you.
Yes, there is a lot of Valentine's Day movies out
And
there.
it's accurate too. That's the thing about the
And you know
Titanic.
why there's a lot of Valentine's Day movies out there? Because people like love movies. Like Hallmark. Ken says no Hallmark movies though. And
No Hallmark.
that's what Ken said. And Saturday is mine and Ken's dating anniversary. 29 years ago, we started dating.
Wow, that's insane. 29 years.
Yeah.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Just wait. Soon, one day it'll be 29 years you've been dating Natalie.
Wow, that's crazy.
It goes by fast.
Don't blink, y'all. Don't blink.
Yeah. Hey, what song is that? Is that Kenny Chesney? Don't blink.
Yeah, that is a song by Kenny Chesney. Good shout out to Kenny Chesney. I love him. Wasn't even thinking about that.
Ooh. Pretty Woman, Sleepless in Seattle. I kind of like those.
Those are good ones, but I'm still at. We got 2 votes for Titanic right now. Someone talk us out of it.
But I have a vote with G-Full on Pretty Woman. I think that Richard Gere and oh my gosh, Julia Roberts. We haven't done that.
Man, if we're gonna do her, we might as well do Mystic Pizza, right?
But Pretty Woman is a classic love story.
Mystic Pizza is a classic love story, isn't it?
I don't remember that movie enough.
Oh man.
They are not awful, Kenneth. I love Pretty Woman. It's like my favorite scene. Okay, so I just gotta say what happened to me when I went into Sephora. I looked like this, with my sweats on, and I was with either my sister or my niece. I can't remember which one I was with, and we went into Sephora to get makeup. And this was before I really started getting into makeup. So about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I told my sister, because my sister's really good at putting on makeup, and I told her, I said, okay, I want to start. What do I need to get and help me? I'm going to buy a whole face of makeup and a whole bunch of makeup. And I'm sitting there, standing there in Sephora, and they would not wait on me. They waited on these older people that had a little bit of makeup on, that wanted a eyeliner, one eyeliner. And I was going to buy a whole face. Yeah, just one eyeliner they were looking for. And they helped her. And I sat there for I don't know how long, and they wouldn't help me. And I was going to buy a whole face of makeup. I said, I'm out of here. And I left, and I'm like, let's go to Ulta. I went into Ulta, bought over $500 worth of makeup, never stepped foot in a Sephora again.
Holy cow. $500 on makeup is crazy. I don't even spend that much on sports cards and stuff.
I needed a full face of makeup. I had no makeup back then because I didn't really
full face of makeup.
because back then I didn't I didn't really wear makeup, so I had hardly anything, and I wanted everything. And then I started learning about it, and I loved it, and then I started my channel.
Wow, that's funny.
But anyway, I picked Pretty Woman. You guys somebody's got to break the tie. Because Blake and Ken says Titanic. Do we have somebody else in the chat that can break the tie?
Titanic. I'll Venmo you $20.
Hey, you can't cheat like that.
That's not cheating. It's bribery.
uh,
Oh, that's funny. While we're waiting for someone to break this, the budget for the movie was $5 million.
wow,
That's it.
that's really
That's
cheap.
Opening weekend, it made $260,000. That's it.
Wow.
But gross in the U.S. and Canada, 27 million, and worldwide, it made $55 million. So this movie more than it made. What is that? Is that 10 times? Yeah, 10 times the amount.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot, yes, ma'am. A lot of money.
I don't think we have a tiebreaker. Okay. While we're trying to do the tiebreaker.
You want to flip a coin?
Okay.
Let's flip a coin.
I don't know if I saw.
And then whoever the loser is, they will just get next week. Okay, that sound
Okay.
good? That way we got two weeks set up.
Okay. While you're getting a coin, the riddle of the night is: if you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you haven't kept me. What is it?
Wait, say it again.
If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you haven't kept me. What is it?
Marijuana.
No.
That's the answer. Come on.
Okay, G-Full says, what about chocolate?
I don't know that one.
Chocolate, PG-13, 2000. It's a romance comedy.
You ain't getting my vote.
Okay, all right, let's do tails is Pretty Woman, heads is Titanic.
I got
No,
a
not a
quarter. I got a quarter right here. Promise we'll keep this fair. What did you say? Heads for Titanic, tails for Pretty
tails
Woman?
from, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Here we go. It is tails, Pretty Woman.
I was gonna say, don't have that double-sided coin. Pretty Woman it is. Okay.
Pretty
Yes,
Woman
Ken,
for the win.
you are correct. A secret is the correct
Oh
answer.
man, that's crazy.
All right.
That's a
Any
good one. I
last
like the riddle.
words, Blake?
Thank you, chat, for staying in, keeping us motivated. We appreciate you coming in every week. So we do this for you guys. So
Yeah.
we'll see you next week for Pretty Woman walking down the street. Pretty Woman. It's a good movie.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for staying interactive. It makes our lives so much easier. And remember, you're all beautiful inside and out. Don't let anyone think differently. And the quote of the night comes from Abraham Lincoln. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. Great quote. And I'll see you
like
guys
that.
all next week. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. We'll see ya.